Hi guys, zpolt here, welcome to my lab. And finally, we're gonna do the full review of the Yinyoo V2, and I am really excited about this because in my first impressions, I am really impressed by what I heard. So we're gonna take a look at more details regarding the Yinyoo V2, and is it gonna be my top one recommendation from now on? We're gonna find out in this review. But of course, we review budget-fi to mid-fi audio gear. So if you're into that, consider subscribing. So let's go first with the build. So build-wise, overall, I'm really impressed by the build here. It has a silver cable with metal in the fork, metal in the plug, and also a 2-pin 0.78 connector as well. It feels solid and doesn't feel flimsy at all. The color is good as well with the dark gray kind of color. I like that it has a subdued color and can easily be paired with anything you are wearing for the day. It is not an L plug though, so this is a minor gripe for me. This is a straight plug, so I wish that it was an L plug. Hopefully they include that in the future. Lobes wise, it is pretty compact, much like the Tin Audio T2 Pros. The similarity is really uncanny here, but this has a more kind of aggressive design you may like or not like. Personally, I still like the T2 Pro lobes over this. I like that it has the gunmetal kind of design there. I like the design overall. One minor gripe here is the cable doesn't have that much reinforcement, so if you yank it, it may be a cause of concern in the future. It comes with 2 sets of tips as well, one silicone see-through type tip and one dark colored tip. I find that the dark color tip fits my ear more than the silicone one, so I kind of use that for this review. Still, overall, there's no deal breakers here. I really like the build here. Comfort wise, this is a love and hate kind of thing for me. It doesn't fit that well in my ear when I'm using it in an over-ear kind of design, but it is more stable. When I'm using it with a typical in-ear style, it fits better in my ear, but it is less stable. So I need to choose one, and I definitely went with a more kind of in-ear style for the way I listen to music. I just wish that they went for ear hooks here to make this easier for me to have a stable fit. When I find a good fit, it is not that bad and I can listen for a long period of time. Given that it is also a light IEM, it doesn't bother me wearing this the whole day. So the comfort here is actually off praise. Isolation is not the strong suit in this. The isolation is mostly on the tips and not in the lobes themselves. Maybe much like the IM1. In the IM1, the lobes help out in the isolation. So the isolation here is pretty average for me. Sound summary. So sound wise, overall, I really like the sound here. This is a solid contender sound wise given the price range right off the bat. So the sound here is more of a V-shaped sound, but the mids is not that recessed. So I would say that it's still like pretty flat in approach, pretty neutral in approach. So flat-ish if you will. And compared to the Tin Audio T2, this has more sub-bass as well. So as the title of the video suggests, the V2 is a more fun T2 Pro. So sound signature, this has a balanced sound but quite flat in approach. The mids is not too recessed. The bass in the treble is well controlled as well and well extended as well. So the tonality here is kind of musical analytical kind of sound, something in the middle, which reminds me of Audio Technicas like the MSR7. So this is pretty neutral in approach, I would say, but this leans towards a more musical, punchy kind of sound. Highs. The highs here have good body, nice detail, and not sibilant as well. It is well extended but just near sibilance. I like the openness of the highs here. It is quite airy and an open feeling as well. That's good energy in the highs, and this is definitely one of the strong suits of this. Highs are actually better than the TFZ S2s in my opinion. Mids. The mids, even when recessed, has nice layering. It is not as lush as the TFZS2. It is still full-bodied. It has nice detail as well. It has a nice punch as well in the mids. Bass. Bass is tight and bleeds to the mids a little bit but not too much, which gives this a fun sound over the 10 Audio T2 Pro. There's also a substantial sub bass here, but this is not definitely a bass head's IEM. So overall, this is a fun sounding IEM but still versatile and safe kind of sound. It still has that neutral tonality to it. It will play well with any genre given that it is well controlled. For some people, it may be a bit stale sounding due to that neutral tonality, but of course, for neutral fans, this may be for you. So that will be up to you if you like that or not. Soundstage. So the soundstage here is big. That is one of the main impressions in my impressions video here, but it's not as big as a TFZ S2 still, but super near the S2, so that is still of praise. Imaging. The imaging here is superior to the TFZ S2. It reminds me of the 10 Audio T2, but the T2 is still better. The instrument separation here is good, but still the 10 Audio T2 is better there. But overall, the imaging is good and the V2. Hearing comfort. Having a neutral kind of tonality, this is a comfortable listen for long listening sessions. Of course, provided that you don't max out the volume. So yeah, you can listen to this for a long period of time without any sibilance. Overall, I really like the sound here. So this has sort of the mix of all my top 3 recommendations in the sub $50 range. It has the neutrality of the 10 Audio T2 Pro and also the imaging of the 10 Audio T2 Pro. It has the soundstage of the TFZ S2 and also the resolving power of the TFZ T2 and the quite punchy kind of sound of the TFZ T2. So it's sort of like all my top 3 recommendations put into one. Earphone comparisons. TFZ S2. This is more punchy than the S2. It has a more neutral sound. I would say that they're pretty equal since I like some parts of the V2 more than the S2 and the other way around. So yeah, this is pretty equal. TFZ Exclusive 3. The Exclusive 3 is warmer than the V2. Pretty similar in tonality, but I like the V2 more. The bass in the X3 just bleeds to the mids more, which is something that I don't like. TRN IM1. So the IM1 fits a lot better in the ear. It has a better treble extension and a little bit more detail than the V2. But the V2 has more soundstage and I will say a more safe sound. I prefer the V2 more than the IM1. 10 Audio T2 Pro. So these are brothers from another mother. The V2 has more sub bass and is more musical. The T2 is more neutral. I would say that these are pretty equal again, so it will just be up to you what you prefer. TFZ T2 has a more musical and punchy sound, more resolving than the V2. The V2 though has a more neutral sound. It will depend on you and what you like, but I will still give the T2 an edge here because of the resolution. But overall, I would say that they're again in the same level. KZ AS10. The AS10 has a more musical sound, has more energy in the sound because of that BA drivers, a warmer sound as well compared to the V2. The V2 though I would say is a still better sounding overall, a better tuned IEM even if it has more drivers. The AS10 just sounds too congested for me and a little bit warmer than I would like. Genre pairing. So I love rock music here in the V2. I like the crunch of the overdriven guitars here. Acoustic tracks also shine here. The detail retrieval and tonality brings out the twang and the acoustic music. Guitar tracks are also good here. They're not sibilant. And actually hip-hop is also good here because of that kind of V-shaped kind of sound. EDM may not work as well here because the bass here is not as substantial as I would like, but actually you can still use it, but yeah, I would still prefer a bass heavy IEM for EDM. Movie watching is also okay here because of the imaging and soundstage. It gives that kind of surround feel when you're watching movies, and it also can game here because it has good imaging. So yeah, actually this is pretty versatile, and I can use this for all genres of music, which is really nice. Verdict, so I really like this product. It has a very good build, metal all around. It has the silver cable here, and of course the sound that is a sort of a combination of all my top 3 recommendations. The sound stage is big, it has good imaging, the neutrality and the more kind of fun sound, and also the sub bass here is all of praise. And this is also a versatile kind of earphone as well for sort of your daily driver kind of sound. So this is definitely a big praise. I really like this product. I would say that I prefer this over the TenAudio T2 Pro, but I like the TFZ T2 and the TFZ S2 still over the V2. But I would say that if you listen to those 3, actually to those 4 including the TenAudio T2 Pro, it will just boil down to your preference what you will like over the 4. I would say that those 4 are pretty in the same level as sort of my top 1 recommendations. I would say that these 4 are sort of my top recommendations, and these belong to them now. So that is a big praise. I will definitely recommend this, of course, for those who are looking for a daily driver, and also for those who are looking for neutrality in their life, and of course sort of a fun sound as well. This will definitely be part of my circulation, so good job, Yinyoo. Okay, so that is my review. Hopefully you like that review. If you learned something, of course leave a like, and also subscribe for more earphone reviews like this in the future. And of course leave a like as well for the new quality of the video. Now I'm trying to, you know, improve the quality with the b-rolls, and you know, with the creamy bokeh and stuff like that. I'm trying to improve the quality here, so thumbs for that as well. And of course I also made a new Discord channel because I figured that we cannot fit in the 30-person limit and the YouTube community, so I prefer to use Discord. So make sure you join that as well. Links down below, and we can talk more tech and more audio right there. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.